What are my top 5 reasons why you should study in the UK? Stick around and let's talk about it today in this episode of Navigating Academia. What's up, Navigating Academia family? This is your buddy and personal academic mentor, Dr. Phoenix Singh, coming at you to be able to discuss the 5 reasons why I think you should at least consider studying in the UK. Now, as a guy who's got his doctorate from Oxford, as a guy who used to be affiliated as a faculty member with Cambridge, I can tell you right now that I am totally biased, capital B biased. And there's certainly a lot of challenges in terms of studying in any foreign country, but a lot of benefits to be able to do so as well. But today we're going to be focusing on all of the positives because there are a lot. Number 1 is that we are dealing with world-renowned universities. So the UK is home to some of the world's most prestigious ones, including obviously Oxford, which is the longest-running English-speaking university in the world, as well as the University of Cambridge. 2 of the most beautiful towns you will ever go to in your entire life. I highly recommend that if you're ever in London, you hop onto a bus and just pop up to Oxford or pop up to Cambridge. It will be a life-changing architectural experience for you, if nothing else. There really is a very deep charm. I remember being really depressed in grad school. Grad school at Oxford and Cambridge is like brutal. And it's one of the, as you can expect. And I still remember my father coming and he's looking around and all these buildings, everything. He's like, it's so beautiful. He's like, I'd love to go to school here. I'd love to, and I'm sitting here all anxious and stuff. I was in one of my final years of grad school and I'm like, what are you talking about? But ever since then, I go back every few years, and let me tell you, it brings me a huge sense of joy, a huge sense of pride, and I absolutely love those universities. And of course, I have so many dear friends who graduated from other universities like Lincoln and Kent, and the list goes on. And just the quality of education that you receive is very, very top bar, okay? Number 2 is that obviously the UK has a very rich history and culture, a very rich cultural heritage, long history, countless museums, galleries, historic sites to explore. It's one of these things where it's a relatively small island relative to, like, you look at the United States and it's like, ba-boom, right? It's a huge difference. But on this, comparatively speaking, small island, you have the biggest possible amount of culture. Even just the dialects when you go from one part of the country to another. If you go from Wales versus you go to, Dorset versus you go up to, Lake District, I mean, you're going to be experiencing so many different accents. It's kind of like, how is that even possible? But it's definitely a thing. And if you're somebody who does like things like historical sites, like my buddy Jack, for example, or museums like my mother, for example, oh my gosh, we're going to be in absolute heaven, especially if you're in London. So that's something that you can definitely take advantage of as a student, whether you're an undergraduate or graduate student. Number 3 is that obviously I was somebody international. There is a very international community with students coming from all over the world studying in the UK, and you're going to have the opportunity to make so many friends and connections from all corners of the globe. Okay. Number 4 is diverse study options. I still remember trying to figure out what master's and doctoral programs to apply to myself. And the only master's program that I ended up applying to was at the Institute of Psychiatry, where a number of my heroes were the professors, and it was basically a feeder program into King's College London's doctoral program. And when I took a look at kind of the freedom and the especially just the academic, the course freedom that we had with regards to curricular design, I was like, wow, I would never find something like this in master's programs in the United States. This was very, very exciting, and I could really specialize in areas that I was most fascinated by. So you have so many programs and courses to choose from traditional subjects like, let's say you're in history and literature, to just cutting edge programs in AI, different types of business innovation. It's really quite phenomenal. Number 5 is English language immersion. Now, obviously, this is something people don't usually think about, but I have so many dear friends. I've had the pleasure of living in 10 different countries, and the overwhelming 3/4 of those countries, English was not the native language. And I experienced so much imposter syndrome amongst people who were just like, man, I can't publish in these top, English language journals, in JAMA and the Lancet and British Medical Journal. I can't publish there. It's too hard. My English is not good enough. And a lot of people, they're very keen to improve their English. And honestly, I get it. When I moved to Germany, when I moved to Switzerland, and I just had to master the dialects and such. Both speak German, but Anybody who knows Schweizerdeutsch is totally different than Hochdeutsch spoken in Germany. So studying in the UK provides an amazing opportunity to improve your English language skills and become fully immersed in the language and culture. You guys know as well as I do, if you want to learn any language, the best thing you can do, in my opinion, is to be able to get fully immersed in the language and the culture of a place. Okay, so those are my top five reasons why I think that you should consider studying in the UK. A beautiful country, a beautiful culture, and some really amazing people who still have a very special place in my personal heart. Hope you guys love this video. If you want me to help you to be able to get into graduate school, especially your top, most difficult schools, be sure to hit me up at gradschoolapplicationcoach.com to be able to book a session so that we can get right into it. In particular, we can work on getting you into a place like an Oxford or a Cambridge. But let's talk more about that in a session. God bless you. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you here as always. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more in this series on navigating academia, please click on one of these links over here to be able to view more original content. I hope to see you there.